Be the person you want to be. Your 30s can be a beautiful thing. I like to laugh. I like to have fun. In my heart to be this type of person. The world don't get better.
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast when you do what you want.
Hey y'all, this is Bree. Welcome back to another video on Self-Discovery Diaries, where I try to figure out who the heck I am, and I'm giving you the courage to do that too. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you never miss a video from me and you know when I'm coming through your front door. Today's video, what we talking about today, Brianna, is a pep talk. Something new I'm trying to bring to the channel. Something new I'm trying to bring to my people. Something new I'm trying to bring to the universe. It's a pep talk, and what a pep talk really is just me trying to encourage myself and just me being brave enough to talk to myself, and hopefully if I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to you too. Today's video really was inspired by the clock app, or for those of us who don't know what the clock app is, TikTok. Scrolling through TikTok as I normally do, and I found this video by the creator Soul Brand. I'm going to spell his name, Solrant. At the time that I saw this video, it was June 11th, and at the time I'm recording this, it's June the 15th. Happy Father's Day to all my fathers. In this particular video, he really states that he's turning 30 sometime next month, and he wants to know, does it get better in your 30s? It really got me to thinking. My birthday is June the 13th. I was turning 32. I'm not really an expert in the 30s. I'm just like okay, you've been through it. You've been in it a little bit, so you can share. He asks all people 30 and up, so I figured why not I take a crack at it. But I really had to think about how do I want to approach this question, because I think when people ask questions, they ask, in different contexts or different ways, or maybe I just think about stuff in different ways, and I just like, well, I want to share what I think. Why not give it a go? Why not give it a go on YouTube too? Because you never know who this can reach, who's turning 30 in a year, 2 years, 5 years, etc. That the 30s is not the end of the world like we were all told it would be. Here you go. So look to the side of my notes. Let's see. I assume that he was asking about the 30s thing in a either or part. So this is how I'm gonna answer it. Most time when people ask about their 30s, I think they're asking for either one or two reasons. Is the world really gonna be a better place when I turn 30, or am I personally gonna be a better person when I turn 30? Now, if you're one of those people that really care about the state of the world and are asking, is the world gonna get better as you get older, because you really invested on how the world is looking right now, I really hate to be the sourpuss of this whole entire thing. The world don't get better. Let's be for real. Especially if you're in the United States of America. We ain't gonna go into detail. We already know globally. We already know what time it is over here. Just survive through it. That's all I got. That's all I'm at with it too. Just survive through it. You survive, I survive, we both survive together, okay? The world's not going to get better. We are humans. We have a lot going on with us. We bring a lot. Like, if you're asking about, is the state of the world going to get better? Are we going to finally tackle climate change? Are we finally going to do, the different things and initiatives that needs to be better humans towards each other, On the grand scale, I personally don't see it, because you have over 9 billion other humans you're asking to cooperate, and most people, a part of that 9 billion, don't want to cooperate. They want to do their own thing. They want to be selfish. They want what they want. They could care less about you, your mother, your sister, your brother, your father, your cousin. Your pet turtle they don't care about. So as far as the state of the world is concerned, if you're asking, are we going to be a better world? No. Let's dial it back and work on the positives. Now, if you're asking, do your 30s get better in the sense of your own personal life? I say this. You have the opportunity to make your 30s better than your 20s. I'm a living example of my 30s was very mid-grade. I've had moments where I was happy. I graduated college. First job was with WLL and Associates. If you're in the rap world, street execs. I was able to, 1 year learn a little bit about the music business. I had very good highs, and I also had very low lows. I quit that job based on my own personal fears. I, bounced around different jobs that I could not stand. I was battling the transition from being a student most of my life to now being a working adult. And that's why I personally learned I don't like working in the outside world, because I don't like pretending half the time. So I say all of that to say, all of that was in my 20s. That really was from like 23 to 29. And then also too, between 23 and 29, we had the global catastrophe of the biomolecular level. Starts with a C, end with a D, that catastrophe. And in the midst of that catastrophe, I was 27, and when it really started clearing up and started doing its thing and going away a little bit, I was 29, probably pushing 30. And during that particular time period from 27 to 29, I had the same question that Soul Rent had. What is my 30s is going to look like? The things I thought I was going to have at this age, I'm nowhere near it. I completely went the opposite of what I thought I was going to be doing at this age. I thought I was going to be a psychiatrist living in Atlanta, married, 2 kids, etc., etc. All this stuff maybe I'll talk about in a different video. However, I say all of that to say, like, what I wrote on paper and what I saw in my actual vision didn't match. So I'm like, okay, well, what do I do now? What do I do? Where do I go? How do I feel about any of this? I reflect on these past 3 decades. Am I proud of myself? Am I happy with what I did? Every question I think you could have about turning 30, I had it. And, the pandemic really worked for me because it gave me some time to reflect on, like, how do I want my 30s plus to go? How do I want my 30s and beyond to look for me? And when I say that was the most transformative part of switch on 30 to now at 32, I really am so proud of the fact that I actually asked those questions to myself. I actually wrote down papers upon papers of, okay, what do I want? What do I don't want? Where do I want this to go? Where do I don't want this to go? Because I learned a lot more about myself during that particular time period than any other time period in my life. I learned that I really don't like working outside of my house. I don't like the feeling of pretending, to put on a face, going to work at companies and actually buying into the mission and value statement, and I don't buy into that. I don't like asking people to go live my life and go on vacation, and you're only going to give me 2 weeks out the year. I don't like, I do want to do content creation in some shape or form, but it's not being good enough. I had to learn through that. I had a lot of personal trauma that I had to work through about my childhood. And, this past year, I had to learn how to deal with grief and death and loss of a sibling and a cousin and a grandmother. It's so many things. First part of this 30s journey has taught me, and it's made me a better person. And it also gave me the courage and the ability to say, hey, I do need to be more of an author of my own story instead of letting life write the story for me. But the biggest thing I want to touch on, I really think for so long, we live as, children and young adults. We're so used to like an authority figure writing the story, and we have to live in that story. We don't have the authority or the authorization or some of the consent that we would like. And a lot of our trauma is based in that. Someone's just doing something and we're living it. But the thing about, pushing toward the late 20s and the early 30s, if you really sit and think about it, is that's the pivotal time, and those are the pivotal years, I should say. You become more an author of your own story if you allow yourself the ability and the access and, the courage to question, like, how do I really want the rest of my life to go? How do I want to write this story? Are there things in my story that I still want? Is there things in my story that I want to get rid of? am I proud of the story thus far, or do I want to completely change this whole story? And I think when you get to that point of asking that type of question when it comes to your 30s, like, is the 30s going to be good for me because I'm taking control of my story? I think that's when you start working and leading towards your life becoming better. You know, all the questions that we have when we're becoming 30, if you're, you know, thinking about family and kids and career and all this extra stuff. Your 30s can be a beautiful thing because you finally have the power to be the person you want to be. Also, it's a time that you reflect, like, you know, I don't know how long I have here. For a lot of people, including myself, walking into your 30s can be extremely transformative. And I also know a lot of people that really didn't take the time to learn themselves until their 40s or their 50s, their 60s, or, you know, they're knocking on the door of going to a place somewhere different, and they never took the time to actually learn themselves for real. And they're living with all this regret. Sitting here thinking about it, they're asking themselves from a place of, how much regret am I willing to put up with going forward? And I'm an advocate, and I hopefully have this challenge to be an advocate to show, like, you know what? Live life the way you want to live it. And if you need an example of someone trying to live life the best way they see fit and learning and growing and making a mistake, I hope to be the social media representative of, you can live life, you can figure it out, you can fail, you can try again, and hopefully if you put your best foot forward, slowly start to write the life that you actually want. Basically, journal my actual life, all the mistakes I make, all the things I've learned, all the things I get right, all the things I got wrong, all the things I halfway got right or wrong, and just let me be the representation for you that if you want to have the courage to live the life you want to live, you know somebody that can do it. Have the courage to live life the way you want to live it. Long story short, I'm going to say to Soul Laurent, and I'm going to say to you that's watching from home, if you're asking about if your 30s is going to be better from the perspective of, is the world going to get better? I want it to, but that's going to be me, you, and 9 billion other people that's going to have to stop being selfish for 2 seconds. We probably shouldn't focus on that part. I think the part we should be focusing on is, does our life better in our 30s personally? And I say with a little bit of brain power, a little bit of courage, a little bit of ambition, and a little bit of learning yourself, working through your trauma, and figuring out how you want the rest of this to go. I do really think that your 30s can be better. So this has been it. This has been all. This has been me talking from wall to wall, or whatever I just said. I don't know. I'll be making up stuff too. Okay, so that is it for this video. Please, like, I beg of you, please, por favor, please like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so you don't miss any future videos from me, because I'm really trying to work on this consistency thing, and I kind of need you to put on the post notifications and get in the comments to hold me accountable. Hold me accountable. I give you permission to hold me accountable. You know, you're my accountability partner. I hold you accountable by making these videos, by giving these pep talks, giving these advice. You hold me accountable by, you know, saying, hey, I need a pep talk with you today. Why are you not here? Why are you not here? Then I'd be like, you're right, I do need to come back. I need to be here. Also, too, you know, for anybody that's 30 and above, please leave in the comments. Does the 30s get better? Yes or no? If you don't feel like it gets better, why? If you do feel like it gets better, why? I'm open to hearing your personal opinions about the 30s. And also leave suggestions for more pep talks, because I need a pep talk to talk me through my tough time, and you might need one too. So leave suggestions on different pep talks you want to hear. Leave suggestions for any more like life advice videos you might like to hear. I'm really open. Come and talk to me, because I'm going to talk to you. And we got to talk it out.